Hi, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Coming up on today's show, we're going to have another segment of Meet the Pro. And today, our Meet the Pro is professional Justin Rinas. Justin was recently honored by the Philadelphia section of the PGA in the category of player development. He's been a pro for a while, kind of took a different path, and Justin is going to tell us all about it. Also today, it's time to get in shape for the upcoming golf season. How about a run through the Valley Forge National Historical Park? And we'll tell you how you can participate, get in the run, the 17th annual 5-mile Rev Run from their director. And on Teed Off, the panel's going to be asked the question, who would you rather play with? I'll give them a couple choices, and then they'll decide. It's all coming up on this week's edition of Inside Golf.
The 26th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. Your next golf getaway is in Valley Forge in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Visit valleyforge.org. By the First Tee Greater Philadelphia. The First Tee not only helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit firstteephiladelphia.org. By the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, a community of professionals enhancing the game of golf since 1925. Make sure you thank your golf course superintendent today. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, a digital publication and private business network. Read the current issue free at jerseymanmagazine.com. By the Haverford Trust Company. For life's must-haves, there's Haverford. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia PGA section, the experts in the game and business of golf.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. The Scramble House of Golf in Horsham and, most recently in King of Prussia, was the vision of Justin Rinas. He's a local pro, but not just any local pro. Recently, the Philadelphia section of the PGA honored Justin with the Player Development Award. And here he is to tell us all about how he got started with the Scramble House of Golf.
Now, Meet the Pro, brought to you by Haverford Trust, where quality investing is a hole-in-one for our clients.
I played every sport possible, and I just wasn't very good at golf. And growing up in Rochester, New York, that's what you did. You kind of played golf up there. And I remember my dad taking me to the course at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and just trying to figure it out. Not a private club guy, and I didn't have any much teachers. Just had buddies that beat me, and I kind of figured that out and kind of found a way that I enjoyed helping people with golf clubs or getting them better with working from another guy that was from Rochester, and then I went to school in New Mexico State, and boom, here we are. I work for Michael Breed up in the Met section, and when you get up there, that's what you do. You join, you be an assistant, boom, 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 you get a head pro job, and that's the deal. I just didn't really enjoy that piece of it. From my standpoint, I enjoyed teaching, I enjoyed outside services, I just enjoyed service to the members, and I wanted to kind of get away from the club scene just because I wanted an all year round place. I didn't want to travel, I didn't want to go north-south, and I feel like I found an idea or a situation to do something different. When I was at a club, I was always nervous to get fired. And I got fired from enough clubs. And I feel like I just never found who I was in the golf business. And there's nothing wrong with what anyone else does. It's just, you got to find a nice match for who you are. And I feel like I was going from, I can do the math. I've been over 20 clubs, and not really anyone is really my style, my vibe. I'd get in trouble for pushing different programs or pushing, hey, let's get more and more and more, and especially like simulators came in. So I feel like what I've learned the most is to be myself and be okay with that. I always love the indoor world. I love come October, November when, you know, everyone's kind of put their clubs down, because that's right where you want to get to work. Like, let's get to work through the winter, whether it's fitness programs, you know, teaching, instruction, and then in the summer, that's when you play. It's very hard to teach someone something in the summer while they're playing. So I always wanted to figure out something indoors. You know, a past club I had, they had a couple things, but like not big enough. And I wanted to help hundreds of people, just not a few. So that's kind of where I said, okay, let's kind of find a space. Everyone was looking at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet. I wanted to go a little bigger at 8,000 square feet. Tried to figure out how to raise capital, how to come up with a concept, trying to figure out if it could be profitable or not, run a business. And you know, I think life is always about learning new opportunities and trying something, and if you fail, you learn. I never really kind of thought that I was always failing at something, whether I was, you know, I don't think the golf business gave me money or a big career. It was more of an idea of something that I wanted to help people and get this kind of in position to do something, and that's kind of what I did. I think Philly golf is awesome, and I've been in it for 10 years, and I'm not a big traditionalist. Like our boy Pete Trenum, he was in here the other day, and we were laughing. God was like, have you ever thought this was going to happen in the Philly golf? And I'm very respectful of those guys back in the day, but now we have a new wave of things happening, and I feel like we kind of figured out a nice space into more sims, means more people, and then obviously the vibe and the culture comes with the members. I feel like I'm not the owner. I'm whatever you want to call me. I'm just the guy that kind of came up with the idea, and I built it for him. And like, you're talking to the guy that built it for you. Like, I don't even know most of my members before they join, and then obviously they think it's cool, and you know, the 24/7 thing, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but people like to say that because, you know, I don't believe a club should close for their members. A dues paying member, in my opinion, should never close. And I want them to have a place that always, you know, can call home. You know, the access is important, you know, and just having, you know, a key fob that you can always get into, and my guys can come in, bring their guests, and we just have a good time. And that's kind of what I wanted this place to be. This is not a facility where, you know, it's per hour or per visit, or, you know, I never want people to think like, you know, this is not safe, or like, you know, they don't know what they're doing over there, you know? I mean, I want nice people in here, and my number one thing is, I don't care how much money you have, I just want you to be nice. And, you know, we have a lot of diversity, women, kids, family, so this is kind of that kind of culture. And when you start to bring people in like that, they bring in nice people, and, you know, we're almost sold out here, and when we're sold out here, we go to the next one. And I never really wanted to raise dues for my members. I never wanted to do initiation. I just don't feel like that's my type of business, but, you know, others doing it, which is totally fine, but I want people to know that they always have a place to come to. Yeah, my daily tasks are challenging. I teach a lot. I probably teach anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week. I go about 90 to 100 hours a week, so I have some hours that I fit into during things, whether it's just saying hello to members, making sure the bills are paid, making sure, you know, we forecast to get ready for next winter. We have leagues going on. I have a dine and dine. So, you know, my days are not just teaching. I used to teach just every day. Now I enjoy teaching more because it's kind of my breakaway from just the business, but I love what I do. I don't even get paid for this. I don't, $0, you know, but I want to grow something, and I feel like if you can do that, then you found your way in the golf business anyways. It's challenging. People use this passion, you know, yes, we all have passion for the game and stuff, but you really have to find something that drives you and your purpose. My purpose is to help people, and if I can give them a home, and if I can give them a better golf experience, then I've done my job. This is not like, I feel like going through the program, you just get bombarded with so many different aspects, and then no one's really specialized. So then you just know everything, but you're not specialized. And I feel like me being this kind of, you know, opportunity, you get specialized in a few things, and now you're not, like, I would never go back to a club. I just can't do that. Oh man, I might get emotional just thinking about it. I look at the tour players when they win their first tournament. Oh man, there's just a lot of hours that no one sees. The validation is the number one word that came to mind. And when you come up with this idea, you know, so many people say it's not going to work, it's not going to do this, but in your heart you feel like it's going to. And it was for those hours and those people that believed in me to bring this, you know, to the golf world. And yeah, it was a big validation. And I feel like I don't want to say a no-namer, but like I'm just a guy that just, you know, wears sweatpants and gets people better at golf. I'm not, you know, I don't do a lot of the YouTube. I don't, you know, do national stuff. So yeah, it was validation for the program. And when people get better in here, I do it for them. I don't do it for really anybody else. So yeah, it was pretty neat for sure.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Hey, are you in shape for the upcoming golf season? Maybe one way to do it is to get out there and run a little bit. You can do it through Valley Forge National Historical Park in the upcoming 17th annual Rev Run. Here to tell us all about it, Sam Cole.
I'm Samantha Cole with the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. With warmer temps and spring approaching, we know folks are headed back out to the golf courses and might need somewhere to do that training. We have the perfect spot to do just that. It's the Valley Forge Revolutionary 5-mile run.
Hello, yeah. I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the gap. I'm in my element, flow is like water, I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word is Spike Lee.
And we're here with race director Kirsten Tolman. Kirsten, we are so excited for the 17th annual Valley Forge Revolutionary 5-mile run. For folks that may not know, what is Rev Run?
Valley Forge Revolutionary 5-mile run is a USATF certified 5-mile race through Valley Forge National Historical Park. There's also a 2-mile walk component that goes into that as well. And then, because of the way we've come out of COVID and all the responses that we got from people that couldn't be here during that time, there's a virtual component too. The one nice thing about the Valley Forge National Historical Park 5-mile run is it's the only race, one of the only races, that's completely encapsulated inside a national park, and that's a big deal.
Amazing. And you touched on the virtual component of this race. Folks can participate in person, but what does that virtual piece look like, and where are you seeing folks registering from?
Great. So anybody that registers for the virtual can run anywhere USA. So we have over 17 states represented at this point and 2 countries, so we're international as well, and they can choose their 5-mile distance anywhere they want to do and do the run. And so the nice thing is that they want to support Valley Forge even though they can't get into Valley Forge, maybe, you know, for travel purposes, but they can support it at home on their own ground, and then the money that they use to bring to us for the registration goes back in to support the park.
And why is it so important for the tourism board to host this race year after year after year and really just support the Valley Forge National Historical Park?
It really is a unique event, and it's important because we're in the tourism industry, right? So we want to bring people into this area, showcase all of the gems that we have, and the national park is certainly one of them here in Montgomery County. But when people register, either a sponsor or registration, their dollars go right back into the park. So during, you know, off seasons when the race isn't going on, we have raised over, almost $600,000. It will be by the time we're done this year, over $600,000 for the park that helps implement experiences for people when they come in, whether it be storytelling benches or water bottle filling stations or bike repair stations. There's just a lot that we contribute back to the park to help with that experience for the visitor when they come in from out of town or the locals.
And word on the street is that there are some new items that participants can expect. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Yes. So this year, new for the walkers. Again, we do have a 2-mile walk that is coming with the event this year. Normally it was 3 miles, but we pulled it back to a 2-mile just for the course purposes. And this year there'll be a little special extra piece for them at their finish line. We have selected a challenge coin to give to the walkers when they come across that in celebration of their 2-mile journey and their support for Valley Forge National Historical Park. And then we've loaded up our store, so we do have gear in our store. You can do quarter zips. This year we've added shorts, athletic towels, magnets for your car because you want to brag about us all year round. So we've branded a couple things that you can have and promote and be proud of what you did for Valley Forge National Historical Park all year round.
As Kirsten mentioned, the Valley Forge Revolutionary 5-mile run and 2-mile walk takes place inside the Valley Forge National Historical Park on April 16th. All information regarding registrations and donation can be found at revolutionaryrun.org.
So there you go, a way to get in shape and participate in the 17th annual Rev Run at Valley Forge Park. All right, stay with us. Coming up next, our teed off panel.
Let's take it back a little bit. Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer.
Huh, interesting. Didn't Hogan have a problem with Palmer when he was new on the scene?
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues from Lulu Country Club. This is our teed off panel time. We have assembled here at Lulu. You can be at Lulu too. Find out more about Lulu by going to their website, lulucc.com. The president of GAP, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, Oscar Mestry, is back with us. Good to see you, Oscar.
Good to see you, Harry.
From Lulu, we have none other than Jim Sullivan.
Thanks for having me, Harry.
Always a pleasure to see Sully when we come here. And from myphillygolf.com, Joe Logan. All right, Oscar, I'm going to play a little game with you. Well, actually with all three of you, but you get the first chance at it.
Okay.
I'm going to throw out a couple names of prominent golfers, and I'm going to ask you to choose which one of those two you'd prefer to play a round of golf with.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson?
Tiger Woods.
Why?
Just, what he's accomplished in the game of golf. I mean, how do you not want to see that up close and personal? I think Phil might be more entertainment.
I was going to say, personality-wise.
Phil might be more entertainment. Phil maybe, I'll play with Tiger Woods and I'll meet Phil for a drink afterwards.
Okay.
But I think Tiger, I got to walk a fairway.
And if Tiger knew you were going to do that, he probably wouldn't play with you. So you'd say, okay, I'll get Phil.
Exactly. He's not been returning my phone calls of late.
All right. Well, never give up. Does he know you're a big shot?
I'm sure he watches the show.
Okay. Sully, let's take it back a little bit. Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer.
Huh, interesting. Didn't Hogan have a problem with Palmer when he was new on the scene?
Arnold always thought that Mr. Hogan never had a good vibe toward Arnold Palmer. It began with an incident, I think, at Augusta after Arnold qualified to play there for the first time, and he overheard Hogan saying something, I think, to Jackie Burke. Jackie, how the heck did this guy ever qualify for the Masters?
So to me, golf, and always has been, even when I've competed, is a social game. So I'd pick Palmer on that. I mean, Hogan's obviously, the legend is what it is. But for a round of golf, I'd pick Palmer.
So you went basically almost the opposite of Oscar. You went more for, hey, I'm going to spend 4 hours with somebody. I don't want to see the back of his head the whole time.
And I'd probably rather have the drink with Palmer afterwards as well.
I'd rather play with both of you guys than any one of those. Joe Logan. Let me send a couple names in your direction. Seve Ballesteros, or one of his peers who we got into with one time at the Ryder Cup, Paul Azinger.
Before I answer that, let me give you a little anecdote about Palmer and
Hogan.
Yeah. I once asked Arnold Palmer exactly that question.
Did you?
How do you like Hogan? How'd you like Hogan? And he thought about it for a minute and he said, he never called me by my name.
Right, that's the story.
Yeah. And he wasn't happy about that. But the answer to your other question would be Seve, hands down, no brainer. He was so great for the game at the time. He was so charismatic, and I mean Azinger's great. He's won a PGA, won a Ryder Cup. He's on TV now. Everybody knows him and likes him. But we can see Azinger all the time. You know, Seve.
Yeah.
I remember chatting with him a couple of times.
He was Mr. Golf.
It was great. You know,
not only in Europe, but in America when he won, the Masters twice. People thought he was going to go maybe 4 or 5 times at Augusta. And unfortunately left us at a pretty young age. But did you ever have a chance to be in his company or interview him?
A couple times. The Masters one year, I walked up to him under the tree out back Augusta and said, can I ask you a couple questions? And he said, you know what, I'm going to putt, walk with me. And so he and I just walked through the crowd over to the putting green, and he stood there putting, talking to me. And people were like going, who is this? What is this?
They probably thought you were his agent.
But he was.
You'd like to be his agent.
There are not a lot of PGA Tour players at Augusta who would do that. And he was just a nice man.
Yes, he was and a great player. All right, Sully, back to you. Justin Thomas, we're going to bring it up to contemporary times now. Jordan Spieth, which one of those two?
Yeah, I mean, both are great guys, young studs, stars. I'll tell you, I don't like Jordan Spieth talking to the golf ball constantly, and I don't like Justin Thomas strutting like he's a defensive back on Alabama's football team. So I will caddy for the two of them while they play a $1,000 Nassau against each other.
You would not want to be.
Listen, I mean, they would be either. They're a draw to me. Like either one I would take would be fine because they're obviously tremendous players. But I'd rather see them play each other, talk a little smack with each other, and try to get after them, and me be able to walk along, carry.
That's interesting. How about that? So neither one, as a playing partner, you'll just go along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 great tour level players that would be fun to play with, and they don't stand above any of them to me. And so if I ask one or the other, I'd rather watch them play each other. And,
you know, you brought up something, and I'll ask your reaction to it about Jordan talking to his ball, like. Especially around the greens. Like, he's like, oh, what did that do there? You know, he's talking to his cat. After a while, that gets old, doesn't it? But that's him now.
Yeah.
That's his personality.
Yeah.
Do you
I mean,
have any thoughts on it?
I'm like Sully. I would prefer not to experience that. I would prefer not to see it or hear it, because again, I think that when you're a young player, the first thing you learn is when somebody asks you, how did you play? They're being polite. They don't really want to hear. They don't
just the par threes.
Yeah, they don't want to hear every shot. Like on number one and then number two. No. Good, bad, let's move on, right?
Right.
So that's the thing. You don't want to hear somebody talk and complain about their shots all the time.
All right, we have about a minute left. I'm going to go to you. We're going to go to female golfers from the past. Mickey Wright or Kathy Whitworth, two great champions.
Mickey Wright.
And
Mickey
because?
Everybody would always say what a spectacular natural swing.
Didn't Huggins say she had the best swing
She
ever?
had the best swing out of both.
That puts her in a pretty high category.
Out of male or female, they said that she had the best swing. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. All right, and Joe, Annika Sorenstam or Sari Pak?
Annika. Sari Pak, I don't speak Korean. She speaks a little English, or did. But Annika, again, one of the great golfers, men or women, that we've had in the last 50 years.
Great ambassador to the game.
Great ambassador, yeah.
So I saw this question, and I think I'd agree. I don't want to interrupt, but you think about, you guys are in the golf media business, and you're in the golf administration, and you wonder how much impact can golf have. Look at what Sari Pak's influence from when she showed up on the scene in the early or mid-'90s, and what South Korean women's golf is today as a result. I mean, it's as powerful as a story could be.
When she won that Women's Open at DuPont, whatever year that was, a number of years ago, and she was leading the field on Saturday night going into the final round, overnight, busloads of Koreans from up and down the East Coast showed up, converged on that golf course for Sunday. The next day you could look around. It was a completely different look and feel. And then when it was over, part of her acceptance was in Korean, because the whole green was just ringed by Koreans who had come from New York and Boston and Washington to celebrate her win. And you're right, after that, it took
major impact in the game. Gentlemen, thank you. More of Inside Golf in just a moment. Designed by Donald Ross, Lulu Country Club is one of the premier private golf courses in Montgomery County. This classic 18-hole course boasts a new state-of-the-art clubhouse with many amenities for members to enjoy. Members are invited to play in events, tournaments, and enjoy guest privileges. For more information, contact membership at lulucc.com.
The Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board is holding its first ever Freedom from Hunger Drive in the spring. We normally hold it in the fall and we'll still be doing that, but we want to help the soup kitchens and food pantries all across Montgomery County recover from exhausting their resources over the holidays and get ready for the summertime when kids won't be in school for free and reduced meals. No one should have to wake up with the burden of worrying if they'll have enough to eat that day. So help us fight hunger together at valleyforge.org/hunger. For the Tourism Board, I'm Rachel Riley.
That's it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Next week, we go to Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square. Sit down and talk to Jeff Kitty. He's been the pro there for years and recently picked up an award that no other Philadelphia professional has ever won, the PGA Professional Golfer of the Year Award. And this year, it's Jeff Kitty of Aronimink. It's a great show. We'll see you next week with Jeff. I'm Harry Donahue. And remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. See you next week from Aronimink with head pro Jeff Kitty.
The 26th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. Your next golf getaway is in Valley Forge in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Visit valleyforge.org. By the First Tee Greater Philadelphia. The First Tee not only helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit firstteephiladelphia.org. By the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, a community of professionals enhancing the game of golf since 1925. Make sure you thank your golf course superintendent today. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, a digital publication and private business network. Read the current issue free at jerseymanmagazine.com. By the Haverford Trust Company. For life's must-haves, there's Haverford. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia PGA Section, the experts in the game and business of golf.